Good morning, traders. Today is Monday, February 7th. My name is Charles, and this is the Pirate Traders live stream. Okay, well, the question that everybody has this morning, pretty easy to guess. What is going to happen in the market today? Was this just a dead cat bounce on a larger down move that's now going to get continuation lower? Or was this pullback that we had at the end of the week last week just absorbing the excess from this breakout, meaning that we would get continuation higher? Today will be a good day to kind of figure out which it'll be right away early in the morning. And basically, I'm watching the same two nodes of volume that acted as support resistance for the overnight, over the weekend. So we've got this area right here where you can see we've had we built a lot of time and a lot of volume in here the last few days. And, it was acting as support when we tried to push higher at the end of the day yesterday or on Friday. But now it's become resistance in the overnight. So support becoming resistance is a little bit bearish to see. And then as far as where the overnight market found support, it was right down here in this node of volume from yesterday and the previous overnight. So these two areas, call it the 4510-ish area and the 4470-ish area, these two should act as support and resistance here today. So if the market opens, we're opening inside the previous day's range, inside the previous day's value area. So we're expecting chop this morning. We're thinking it's probably going to grind around for the first half an hour to hour of the day. And so kind of testing these two nodes will give us an idea of whether it's going to get a bigger move. So essentially it'll bounce around just like the overnight between them until it breaks through one of them, one direction or the other. And essentially we'd be looking to take trades in that direction. So the one up here above us, that node is also lining up nicely with the 20 daily SMA. So that could act as resistance. So if the market tries to push up in there and it can't get above that daily SMA, I'd be looking for a trade back down for support around those overnight lows. But if they're able to poke through and then come back down and find support, that would be a good long trade for continuation higher. And then same thing on the downside with this node. Let's call it 70. If the market trades down there and it finds support, I would look for a long trade back to the opposite end. Or if it breaks down below, comes back up and finds resistance, I would be looking to short that right there. But the most important thing this morning is to recognize we're likely to get chop. And so I'm just not in any rush to jump into a trade one way or another, as the highest probability, at least for the first half an hour of the day, is that we just kind of grind around. Please smash that thumbs up if you have not yet. I would really appreciate it. Get the momentum going here in the morning. Welcome, Cyrus. Happy Monday to you. Philip, good morning. Jimmy Woo back with us. Mom to you as well. Oh, Morn. It looked like Mom from where I'm sitting. Diego, good morning to you. Chris Yee, good morning. Thank you for the reminder to smash that like button. David Glass, good morning. Arthur is here. Good to see you. Scooball back with us. Good morning. MK is here. Laser Eye. Dean back with us. Rev is here. Greetings to you. David V in the house. J Trader, good morning. Ocean Blue. Create a poll first thing every day. Yeah, good call. I should do that. Ronald, good morning to you. John Doe Q pasta. I don't know what that means. K pasta? I only speak English, so I'm lost there. Anton, welcome, welcome. Mick Stockster in the house. Good to see you. All right, so let's just sit back and watch the chop. Just trying to figure out where do they find support. They don't necessarily have to make their way all the way to the overnight low. They may find support above there. But I do think we'll take out this weak reference we left behind on Friday, at the very least. Looking for support below around 85. But chop is very difficult to trade unless you're a scalper, because it kind of randomly just bounces. Keep that in mind. All right, so there's the repair of the week reference. Market looking for support. Laser Eye, Charles, question about the open related to the previous close. Do you consider the overnight, or do you consider the previous regular trading hours close? I consider the overnight close in comparison to the regular trading hours close. So today it doesn't really matter because the overnight was just rotational. It just kind of bounced around. But normally what we're looking at is where did the market close yesterday, right? Which we can see from that little green rectangle there. And then where did it close in the overnight up here? And so we would think, more overnight traders had to be long than short in order to get the market from there to there. So we would think the overnight inventory is a little bit net long, increasing the odds that when we open, we need to trade lower. But like I said, because the overnight is a perfect bell-shaped curve, it was 50-50 all night. It was, traders just picking each other's pockets. There was uncertainty. So I don't take the overnight inventory really that much into account when I get that. The idea of the counter auction to the overnight is just that, let's say the overnight had trended higher all night long. They opened, we closed down here, they closed up here. Some of these traders got to take profits, and they often do it right into the U.S. Open. We provide the liquidity for that. So they were literally pushing it higher all night, waiting for us to open so that we could absorb their selling up here. So that's why you often, if the inventory is net long like that, you often get a counter auction in the first half an hour of the day where the market kind of absorbs all these buyers from overnight closing their trades. But again, not on rotation. All right, hit the poll. We've only had 17 votes here. Got 100 people. Only 17 have an opinion of where the market's going today. Make a guess. It's totally anonymous. Nobody will know what you pushed. We going up, down, or sideways? Nunez, good morning to you. Jose, good to see you. All right. The chop continues. We did find support literally right at the first large volume node from the overnight. So, I mean, it's not like bullish, but it's just slightly bullish to see. We do only have 18 contracts at the low, so that increases the odds slightly, just slightly, that the market needs to come down here and get some more trade. But otherwise, it's good taper. What is pirate speak for good morning? I don't think they say good morning. I don't know. I don't know that pirates pleasantly greet one another at the start of the day. I'm sure it's more just like, ugh. Ocean Blue would like to see that poll every day. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Start every day with it. 48 votes. Wow, got half the people voting here. Got as many votes as likes. So let's end this poll. Speak now or forever hold your peace. What is the result going to be? Arg to you. Thank you. And the chop continues. Chop suey. Looks like the ES is getting a little bit of resistance on that 20 moving average on the 15-minute candles. So if it can poke through there, that'll be a little bit of strength. Okay, well, that is very interesting. Wow, there are no bears in the chat. So half of you think it's going sideways, half of you think it's going up, but only a tiny portion think it's going to go down. Oh, no. If past lessons have taught us anything, the market tends to do the opposite of what we think as a group. But that is interesting. There's a great case to be made for going sideways or up here today. If this pullback was just absorbing this excess right here, going sideways for a day would be no big deal at all, or beginning the rebound to retest this trend line to the downside. Either scenario makes sense. So I can see how you all got there. But I would have expected at least some of you to think that this was a hard rejection and that we're going lower. There's no bears. Danielle, good morning. You came here just to give me the like. Appreciate it. Thank you. So you run a chain of hotels? Yeah, I mean, send me an email. I'll come visit wherever you are. Always love to take advantage of a free opportunity. MWEO to you. Welcome. Espacio, need to love us tech. You looking for a breakout on the Nasdaq today? I mean, they're both indices are pretty much moving almost in sync. It's crazy the last few days how they've been perfectly in sync. Well, the Nasdaq is getting above the overnight high. That's bullish to see. So the next resistance is going to be around Friday's high. If they can get above there, so like 14,820, if they can push their way above there, come back down and find support, I would look for continuation higher on the Nasdaq. And there should be lots of strong support if we do chop back down. There should be lots of strong support around the POC from yesterday or from Friday. So 14,590s. All right, we got good taper on the A period high here, but once again, generally when I see less than 100 contracts trade at the high of the day or the low of the day, I assume we'll be going back up there once again to do a little more two-sided trade. So it still feels like chop here. Scuball, it's U.S. stock if you ask about other stocks. Yeah, I know there's a few traders in here who trade like the Indian markets, the Nifty. But I'm pretty sure everybody's pretty much trading the ES and the NQ. Scuball, ticks look a little bearish to me. No, ticks look good. Overnight inventory was neutral. So pretty much from the start of the day, we could see are there more buyers and sellers based on whether we're above or below. And we're staying above. So there are more buyers in the market right now. That is more bullish than bearish. Donkey's trading donkey futures, just like always. Oh, sorry, Scuball. Misread you. That's a brain fart if ever there's been one. Okay, so it feels like it's the algorithms on this 15, on the 20 moving average on the 15-minute candles. It's kind of holding the market down here. So if they can get some support, Give it one more poke and get through there. That should give us a little pop higher to test the overnight high. NQ on its way down to now test its 20 moving average on the 15-minute candles to see if we can find some support there. Pushed through it to the upside. So now do we find support when we come back down? It's pretty common to see. All right, well, the NQ looks like it wants to go test Friday's high. Once again, we can see over the last few days we ran out of buyers up here, right? We've had consistently running out of buyers in this area. So we'll watch for that to happen again today. For the market to push up in there, get some resistance, and come back down with thinner and thinner volume, the higher it goes. If not, if it's able to push up there, come back down, and find some support, that is a sign that people are willing to do business up here, which would be bullish for continuation higher. All right, ES poking its way through that 20 moving average here, so that should give us a little pop to the upside. And we'll be testing the overnight high. Skubal, the VWAP was a trampoline today. Buyers at the VWAP. All right, well, internals are strong. So we're starting to get some momentum to the upside. It's not quite enough to get me into a long trade yet, but it is feeling like the market wants to test the highs from Friday on both indices. First, obviously, the ES has to get over the overnight high and then get through that 20 daily SMA. Which is just above us. Chris Yee, I love it, dude. I love when your questions are exactly what I would say, word for word. That's it. Right? So just like a great example is the NQ. How, well, there you go. You're getting them right now. You could see how the volume tapers off every other day, right? Less and less and less volume up here. So if we can push up into that area and get red and pink candles up in here, we know there's new buyers that are willing to do business up here that were not willing on Friday or Thursday night. And of course, that's bullish. We like to see new buyers willing to do business at a higher price. So that is exactly right. Also, I'm not necessarily calling for a trend day right now. It's way too early to make that call. But if we were going to get a trend day, one of the first signals that we would get is we would build a node of volume, then push higher and build a node of volume higher, push higher, build a node of volume like that, as opposed to getting a bell-shaped curve where all the volume is in the center and it tapers off at the edges. So that's the same principle there as well. If they can push higher and then bring in volume at a higher price, it means there's momentum to the upside. I'm going to go ahead and consider the A period high weak because they stopped exactly one tick above the overnight. That would be short-term traders. Shorting it right there. Donkey's going short. What am I not seeing, Donkey? I see a weak reference above in need of repair. A market that's just experiencing chop, but with momentum to the upside. Yeah, 20 moving average is acting as resistance. That's true. Black Cat, weak high to short. See, I wouldn't short it for that reason. I would actually assume it needs to come back and get repaired. That we actually need to trade back up there. Rather than seeing it as a short. David V, no, the time frame for the 20 moving average is the 15-minute candles. And it does have to be the 15 for that SMA to work properly. It has to be the 15-minute candles, and it can only include regular trading hours. It can't include the overnight. So you can use the ES, but you got to take out the overnight hours, or you can just use the SPX. Chris E, the more the 20 gets poked, the weaker it gets. Yeah, that's a fair assessment. Black Cat. Yeah, I agree. rocket, epic short in the ZB. In the treasuries. Oh boy. They're breaking the previous low. Yeah, it looks like further selling. And the yield is pumping. Boy, Bitcoin must have had a good weekend. It's up to 43. Jeez. Boy, when they say chop, they're not kidding. They just want to chop. Chop, 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 chop. So right now we're seeing the taper on the volume here at our high, exactly the same area as the taper from overnight. So to get some continuation higher, we've got to push up here, repair the weak reference, meaning get one more tick higher on the A period, and then start bringing in some volume up here. If not, we've still got this low down here with only 18 contracts. So if the buyers can't get something for it soon, they'll give up. And we'll head back down to those lows looking for support. MK, adding cumulative tick to my chart is really helping in staying in long for a bit long on my scalps. Locked in 20 points for the day. Hey man, I'm glad it works for you. S&P Attic, morning. He says his new challenge is 20 points a day. He's already hit it, so he's just going to hang out today. Did you find that over trading, trying to target 100 was too much? And so by stopping at 20, you're locking in those profits? Was that the thought process? And I'm sure I could draw the downtrend he's talking about. No, I don't see it. From yesterday, from Friday's high? Oh, Thursday. Something like this. See, I would not draw that like that. Yeah, you're going to have to pop that one in the Discord. All right. Well, the donkey was right. That resistance held. So now we're heading back down to test these lows once again. Looking for support in here. Yeah, so just ignoring that one. Okay. NQ breaking through that 20 moving average. So that's a little bit bearish to see. It was acting as support. If it breaks through now, it could act as resistance. It's worth noting we have value completely higher on the NQ this morning. That's bullish. So they're looking for support. Trading Donkey, I think it's important to be able to ignore a moment when the market gets overly excited or overly bearish, larger trends and all. Yeah, I can get behind that. The only way that gets a little bit tricky is if you're trying to create a systematic trading strategy. It's not really systematic if you're just picking and choosing which data points to ignore. But if you've got the skill set to be discretionary and to make those, analysis yourself, then sure. Donkey, I'm not trying to be robotic. It's 100% discretionary. I bring in macro and everything. Yeah, and it works for you. For most people, it doesn't. Most people who are profitable day traders are systematic. So if they draw trend lines, they draw them exactly the same every time. Because it's when people get discretionary that they get wiped out. But yeah, there are those that, like you, that can do it. Yeah, Attic, I agree with this, what you're saying here. I think it's a great idea. Trade in the way that feels natural to you, which if that's, quick, short term, in and out type of trades, do that. And then lock in your profits. If you made 20 points every day, that should be a good target. And then, you do it for a while until it becomes consistent, and then you just size up. And then those 20 points can become 40 points because you're just trading with more contracts. And then those 40 points can become 80 points because you're just trading with more contracts. And then those 80 points can become 160. And before you know it, you're doing 100. But every day, like you're now doing 20. Mudra, doesn't Jim Dalton always promote discretionary trading? Yeah, Jim Dalton does. It's just really, really hard to teach. Teaching people how to be discretionary traders, it's really, really hard. Because there's just no shortcut to it. You just have to put in the years of practice. Whereas systematic, all you have to do is find one little simple system that works for you, and then master that one system, and then add to it and add to it and add to it. But yeah, I think even systematic has to have a little bit of discretion. Otherwise, you might as well just program a bot. Donkey said at one time he perfectly summed up like how to describe the edge that retail has, that you and I have. And it's like, it sounds silly, but the one thing that we have that gives us an advantage in our trading over the algorithms and over the like big money managers and stuff like that is that we don't have to trade. We can choose not to trade. The larger players, they always have to be in the market because they have to meet, they have to beat the market's benchmarks or they'll lose clients. And algorithms have no choice. They have to take a trade every time, whatever they're programmed to do happens. So it's only the retail traders that have the freedom to wait for that perfect opportunity and only trade then. That's what gives us an edge. So it's an interesting concept. CCT, how many contracts do you guys need for 20 points daily? I mean, in this market, you only need one. It's very volatile. David V, isn't discretionary trading acquired through extensive screen time? Yeah, that's it. That's exactly right. All right, Chop City. Super exciting morning. CCT, one ES contract, really hard for me to gain 20 points. Do you hold overnight? I mean, just think about if you bought that B low, right? If you bought somewhere in here, market was trading lower, it was trading into taper. It found support and it turned around and started to head higher. So you saw this node of volume building up in here, the strength, the buyers. So if you'd have bought in there, you could have got already 10 points right there off of one trade. So you'd be halfway there for your day. Black Cat talking about he trades sugar for a living. And so he understands they don't have to trade every day. Yeah, I'm talking about money managers, people that manage other people's money, hedge funds and stuff like that. They can't underperform the market. So that means they can't be in cash. Being in cash will make them underperform the market. So they have to be in a position always. And then they just move from one market to another, but they don't really move to cash. So they'll sell stocks and buy bonds or, commodities or whatever, but they don't go to cash because then they're losing a chance to make money and they might be underperforming the market. Whereas you or I could decide, okay, the market's just chopping this morning. I don't need to make money right now. I can wait till we break out to the upside or downside and then get into a trend where I'll have more confidence and just wait for that good opportunity. All right, man, that 20 moving average, strong resistance this morning. The chop continues. All right, so as we print the C period here, what do we have? Well, we basically just have rotation, obviously. The B period is inside the A period, and so we have not sort of picked a direction for the morning yet. So I would say whichever way the C period breaks the A period high or the A period low, we should look for continuation in that direction. As far as to the downside, look for support around that overnight low in this node of volume from Friday. So the lower end of that would be like 44.69. If that breaks, then we're probably heading down towards the 200 daily SMA, which is at 44.38-ish. If it's to the upside and we break above the A period high, look for resistance right away at the 20 daily SMA. If we get through that, the target becomes Friday's high, or really Thursday's high, which was poor, at 45.3450. But until then, there's not any strong momentum one way or another. So we'll just bounce around in here until we break that A period high or A period low. Internal's not really giving any clear signal here. Smells like rotation. All right, and with that, I shall bid you all farewell. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for the 71 likes. And we will see you all here tomorrow morning. If you're a member of the Brigade, head on over to the private stream, and we'll hang out there.